of Steiff teddy bear.
Yeah.
Over the holidays, my hometown has turned into a little bit of like it's like slightly fancy, so there's way more antique stores than there ever were when I lived there. And so I was in an antique store just like killing time before a hair appointment or something, and they had it was a Christmas display right in the front, and they had this little lion, and it was like about that big, and I immediately saw it and went to it and picked it up, and it was like perfectly hand sized. So it's like and it was the cutest, just I can't really explain it. I probably have a picture I can show you, but it was Steiff, and I like had to buy it immediately. It was like $50 or something, and then I'm like, I bet you this will probably be overpriced, but I just love it, and it's such a cool antique-y looking thing. It's also just kind of sweet because it's so small. And then I started looking it up, and I'm like, oh, this is what's so interesting about collecting, is because it was like, oh, this Steiff has a stitch nose instead of a plastic nose, so it's from before 1950, and it has this instead of that. So you start identifying what you have, and then learning the value of it based on. So it's all one. It's not articulated terms, so it's worth less than the ones that have articulated. You know what I mean? You get to like identifying it, and then you're like, well, then I am interested in it. It's like I don't have any interest in stuffed animals, but suddenly I was in.
Yeah, just from looking it up once. Yeah, and you're like, well, now I gotta get my doesn't have articulated. I'm gonna lose
I'm gonna send away to Germany and get the original.
I do wish I had a list of like, every once in a while I'll see somebody that does rare books, like, oh, this book that's an original one that they found at a yard sale is worth $80,000. Like, I do wish, I always want to get into that as like a hobby and go find rare books at estate sales and stuff like that and sell it. Like, I think that would be a fun side hobby to be like, oh, I found this really important book. And I was watching Antiques Roadshow recently, and somebody had an extremely rare almanac from like the 1850s, and they're like, there's one in Harvard and there's this one. They're the only two that exist. And I was like, I would enjoy that. I would enjoy the fun of being like, just pop in here when I'm somewhere and just kind of look at the used books and see if I can find any diamonds in the rough. But every time I think it, I just never find. That is something I just do not follow through.
Oh, you'll do that when you're retired. When you own a like a Tommy Bahama car somewhere.
And also you have to memorize the list of all the most wanted books and the rarest. Like, there's something to it where you have to have like the encyclopedic knowledge, so you know what you're spotting that no one else knows. I love that. I love that part of either looking in like vintage stores or antique stores in that way, where it's like, prove to myself I have the eye. Yes. And then it's like, this Steiff lion proves that I have good taste. It's like, no, it's just old. You could tell it was old and kind of interesting.
We used to do that. We used to do that in like the mid 90s with records. Like I remember going to like Bleecker Bob's in New York City and going in there and being like, oh, they have the original X-Ray Specs vinyl that's colored, and like that's because it's been a reissue since 1989, and then they have the one from 1979, you know, and just like, woo! And then all of a sudden somebody was like Napster, and it was like, burn it all down.
Yeah.
There in college, one of my roommates had the single of Toto's Africa on vinyl, and the vinyl was shaped like the continent of Africa.
Whoa!
It's plastic shaped like Africa, and you had to put it in the middle because if it was on the outside, it would just chunk. But and I was like, that today was also with the weird resurgence of that song.
Yes, that must be worth
a lot.
At least $800.
I know, worth holding on to for 25 years. I'll send us home with this one. Kristen Yowitz KBG sent this in. Thank you, Kristen Yowitz KBG.
Yowitz.
I'm gonna tie that.
This was written by Nadine Abusada for News 5 Cleveland. Real website. I'm checking it 4 or 5 times a day. Nadine Abusada is the best in the business. Cars keep hitting his house, and he's extremely over it. So I actually looked this up thinking it was about this other house I'd heard about. So there's this other house that's been hit 11 times. Cars, and one of the videos, The car is so airborne that you're like, how? It must have gone off your friend's Lamborghini, Karen, because this car is 8 feet in the air and hits the upstairs. This is a different guy. Cleveland Heights, Ohio. One Cleveland Heights homeowner is fed up with dealing with crash after crash into his home. Now he's taking matters into his own hands because he feels the city is not doing enough to prevent them. On South Taylor Road, heading towards the intersection of Fairmont Boulevard, you'll see flashing signs, speed bumps, even boulders meant to slow down cars. But I mean, he's trying to like fortify his front yard, and these cars just go ripping right over it. It's incredible. But for John Gall, it is still not enough to keep his home safe from erratic drivers, so Gall is trying his own methods. I'm painting another sign, he said. This sign's going to be somewhere with a sign that says, "The cowards won't talk because they're chicken bleep, mother froggers." Okay, I'm going to read that again because it's so insane. He says the sign's going to go somewhere with the one that says, "The cowards won't talk because they're chicken bleep, mother froggers," said Gall. That's not Nadine Abu Sada. I know.
Okay.
I do not understand it either.
I feel like his deterrents are not working because they're crazy.
Yeah. Also,
I feel like he may have gone crazy from having so many cars.
Yeah.
Just
I don't understand. I've installed 8 slide whistles along the road coming up, and it keeps happening.
I also just get some plywood and build a ramp up towards your house and just have cars come right at and ramp right into orbit.
Also, just say chicken shit and motherfuckers, please. Just do it. Who cares?
Okay, your house is getting hit by speeding cars. You're allowed to cuss.
You can cuss it up.
John Gall, cuss up.
I'm going to say mother froggers. The mother froggers? I've never actually heard that for some reason. Mother froggers, you mother frogging jerk.
Mother frogging.
There was a Snakes on the Plane one that was like, did these Mickey Ficky snakes off this a Monday to Friday plane. I think that was it. That's good. Gall bought his home in 1996, where his lawn now sits filled with wooden painted signs at the intersection. The signs read things like, "Where's my guardrail?" "Speed bump." "Seriously?" And "Cowards won't talk." That is because in the past 10 years, Gars said 4 cars have crashed into his home. The first crash actually took out my pickup truck that was parked in the driveway. That was in 2012, I believe. The second crash occurred in 2021 when News 5 covered a police chase that ended with a car crashing into Gall's kitchen. Then in 2022, another car crash took out his garage. And then the latest crash in 2023 landed on the lawn and narrowly missed his house. I cannot get homeowners insurance. I currently have insurance, but they jacked the rates. I'm one claim away from being dropped. I pursued other insurance companies. Nobody will touch me, he said.
That sucks.
Oh, Gall. I know. Gall said, also, dude, I know everything's expensive, but it's time to move. This is a sign from John to get out of there.
It is like, where does this man live that this I just was like picturing as it was like, oh, that's right, it's different parts of the house. So it's like one time he's asleep in the front room and it goes into the kitchen. The next time he's, over here in the bathroom and it's his garage. Like, he must feel like he's being, that must be insane.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy that every time you hear a car, you're afraid.
And so then you're like, again, like having to complain that your house has been hit more than once is insane.
Yeah. 2 times would be enough for me, like, and we're out of here.
Gotta
Thank
go.
you so much.
And when the cowards won't talk, makes it 10 times worse.
So bad. Just talk, you cowards.
Speed bump. Seriously? All he wants is peace of mind, that a car won't come flying through his walls. And he believes a guardrail or a cement barrier would do that. He says, I'm kind of living on the edge. As far as I'm concerned, this house is a giant target on its side, and the city has done nothing to alleviate that. Until then, he plans on keep painting his signs until he gets the wall. He said he's hired a lawyer. Smart move. Probably should have done that in 2012. And plans to keep adding signs until he sees change or response from the city. News 5 in Cleveland has yet to hear back from the Cleveland Heights City Hall for comment. There you go.
A delight. And you know what also has been a delight?
Tell me.
Having you, Karen, here as a guest.
Oh my God, I on this show get very passive because I love listening to these stories and I just think about them and try to kind of problem solve within them, or I'm just like, it's like that story alone where I'm just like, should we all be calling the comptroller of that city in Cleveland? What do we do as a community to make it, can't he build, why can't he build
planters?
a wall?
What about, like, planters are probably $100 each. If he gets 4 planters, fills them with dirt, big planters, big clay planters, fills them with dirt. That's going to do it. That's going to do it.
Help this man.
Help this man.
How much, as a child, all I did in the summer was build ramps to ride bicycles off of, and just find some old plywood and some cinder blocks and just ramp your heart out. This guy, for $500, could be launching them into the neighbors' houses and making it somebody else's problem.
Yes.
Banana of the week. This guy's the banana of the week.
Banana of the week. Thank you, Karen.
Guys, thank you so much, and congratulations to the banana of the weekend. That's a bright spot in his crashed up house day. Yeah.
He deserved it. He really did that one. John Gall, this one's been for you.
John Gall, we're with you.
Bananas. Bananas is an Exactly Right Media production.
Our producer and engineer is Katie Levine.
The catchy Bananas theme song was composed and performed by K-Hon.
Artwork for Bananas was designed by Travis Miller.
And our benevolent overlords are the great Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hartshorn.
And Lisa Maggot is our full human, not a robot intern.
Bananas.
It's time for Twit This Week in Tech. We got a great panel. Jennifer Patterson Tui is here from The Verge. Abral Al-Hidi from CNET from Connect Safely. My old friend Larry Maggot. We will talk about, well, many things. The new iPhone, for one. Amazon's revamped Echo may not have its intelligence built in. And a massive lawsuit to find the national public data broker that leaked all our social security numbers. California wants $46,000. All that and more coming up on Twit.